trumped by Trump Mobile? What the heck's going on? Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for Tea Time without tea. Today we're in Rome, Italy, and we're going to be here for a little bit. So it's going to be a couple of weeks, so you're going to get a lot of shows from Rome. So you're going to see some B-roll of Rome and the surroundings. Okay, I'm going to throw that in there for all these videos I do about space and SpaceX and Elon Musk and Linux and all the rest of this stuff. Today is going to be something about Trump. And the reason being is we've been talking about Elon Musk and putting out this Pi phone for quite some time, or an X phone or a Tesla phone or whatever. And there's so many fake videos out there that talk about this. And I have to keep telling people over and over and over, whenever you see these channels that are faceless channels, you don't know who's behind them, and they start showing you all of this great 3D animation of these phones and these AI versions of Elon, it's all fake. It's all fake. Elon Musk has made it perfectly clear that he's not going to do a Pi phone or an X phone or a Tesla phone unless absolutely necessary. He's got bigger fish to fry, basically. And the bigger fish is getting to Mars and the moon, right? Artemis. There's a lot of things that he's involved with, and creating a phone or a service is really not one of them that he's interested in. Once again, unless he's forced to do so. Now, what does that mean? Forced to do so basically means that, well, his X platform ends up getting shunned, or maybe free speech is somehow compromised on one of these platforms due to either Apple or to Google, to the Android, whatever. At that point, he will make his own phone and maybe even his own service. Well, President Trump kind of beat him to it. I shouldn't say President Trump because he's just like the figurehead of what's going on. It's more his kids that are creating this, and it's Trump Mobile. And if someone would have told me this like a couple of days ago and I didn't actually see that this was actually happening, I'd be like, all right, here's some more of this nonsense news, kind of like a Pi phone or a Tesla phone or an X phone, which are fake. Well, this isn't fake. As of June 16th, there is now a Trump Mobile. And what's also interesting is not just that there is a Trump Mobile, but there's also a T1 phone. So he created, or they're having created, a phone as well as a service. Now, I promised you, I did like a little short of this when it first hit. I figured I'd just put it out there so people would know what's going on, and I would kind of dig in a little bit deeper in this video. So hopefully that's what you're here for. So what I did is I put together a whole bunch of bullets so I don't miss anything, and I dug in, I double checked and I triple checked everything. So the information that I give you is most likely correct. Let's say 99% correct. If I get something wrong, just let me know. It's okay. Down below in the comments, in the pinned comment, as well as the description, I'll put it in there. I'll say I was wrong here or whatever. So no problem. I'm okay with that. So Donald Trump Jr. as well as Eric Trump has come up with this, okay? And it is Trump Mobile. This isn't a joke. It is happening. And the monthly fee, which I think is interesting, is $47.45. $47.45. Why? 47th president and 45th, right? So that's what the monthly fee is. I think it's basically $1 for each president or something, however you want to look at it, which is interesting. Also, people are saying that, listen, this is going to have unlimited text, unlimited phone calls, unlimited data, and all the rest. That is true. But just like all the rest of the carriers, the unlimited is limited, okay? 20 gigabytes is what you get. And once you hit the 20 gigabytes, it throttles you back. That's just simply the way it is. So most of the companies do that. There's very few that don't. And if you want to get true unlimited where you're not throttled back, like T-Mobile has a true unlimited, like what I have, you're paying top dollar for it. That's just how it is. If you're paying something that's small, like $40-some a month, you're not going to get that. Also, what I found here is that the free calling and all the rest of this stuff, let's say the locations where this service will work is 100 plus countries. I know T-Mobile advertises like 212 or 210 or whatever. They advertise 100 plus. Why that is, I don't know. And I'm going to tell you why. It's just kind of strange to me in just a second. Also, it's going to provide you with roadside assistance. Like, what the heck is that? Like literally 24-hour, 7-day a week roadside assistance. So if you get stuck, you're going to have roadside assistance. It comes included with it. It's like a third-party extra, but it's added on for free. Also, telehealth. So you have these telehealth consultations that don't cost you anything because you have the Trump service, the Trump Mobile, which I think is interesting. Also, what I think is really good is there's going to be a reduction in prescription drugs. So if you buy a prescription drug and you have Trump Mobile, you're going to have some type of reduction. What that is, I don't know. I tried digging in to try to find it, and I was not able to find it. So I don't know. Was it 5%? Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 50? I don't know. But that's something to look out for because prescription drugs is everything today. There's so many elderly out there that are either deciding to eat or take their meds. And that's just simply wrong. Where other countries are getting the exact same meds that we get here for half the price, a third of the price, a quarter of the price. It is just simply not fair. And this happens right across the board. The US populace gets screwed always, 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 always. It even happens with Elon Musk, right? With his SpaceX Starlink. If you go to certain countries, you're going to get it for a lot cheaper than others. Now, does that have to do with the cost of living and the value of their money and their location? Yes, it does have some to do with that, but it also has to do with the location and is there a lot of people that are even interested in it? And if there's not, they're going to lower the price. That's just simply how it is. So what I found here and what I thought that this was something you wanted to know is that this Trump Mobile is not like a T-Mobile or an AT&T or a Verizon or something like that. Trump Mobile is more like Mint Mobile. You get it? What that is basically it's an MVNO is what they call it. It's a mobile virtual network operator. What does that mean? That means that there's like ambulance going by. What that means is the Trump Mobile is actually using the exact same carriers that you're using if you have AT&T or T-Mobile or Verizon. They just basically buy extra, let's call it bandwidth, extra time on the towers. So what ends up happening, the same thing with Mint Mobile or all the rest of them, Boost and all the rest, that are these MVNOs. Because what that means is, let's say you're with Verizon and a Verizon customer is on a tower and they're using their phone. Well, if you come as let's say a Boost Mobile or a Mint Mobile or now a Trump Mobile to use that tower, well, if it's in a congested time, you're going to get deprioritized. The same thing that happens with SpaceX Starlink. If you are in a congested area and you do not have their residential coverage and you have some mobility, well, you're going to get deprioritized. That's just simply how it works. All right. There's only so many pieces of the pie to go around before you have to start cutting the pie up into smaller blocks, smaller pieces, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Also, what I found out with this hardware is they've been talking about it's going to be gold. Of course, it's going to be gold. It's going to be a Trump phone. It's going to be solid gold. I used to work at Trump's place here, his house, Mar-a-Lago over here in Palm Beach for many, many years, and everything is gold. The fixtures are gold in the bathroom, the toilets, everything is gold. That's just how he is. He just loves gold. So of course you're going to have a gold phone. Well, this gold plated phone or whatever, this gold colored phone is going to be $499. It's not going to be $1,200 or $1,300 like an iPhone. It's going to be $499. And I think it's $100 down or something. And you're going to be able to purchase these immediately. I think they're going to be shipping them out in like August or September. So it's getting close, right? It's getting close. But it's $100 down and then you'll get this phone. Well, this phone is an Android phone. It's basically running on Android 15. That is it. People are like, oh, is it going to be his own thing, or are they going to make a phone? And no, it's an Android phone. But see, here's the catch. I looked up what kind of specs it has. It's a 6.8 inch, 120 hertz display. It has 12 gigabytes of RAM. It has 256 gigabytes of storage, and it has a 50 megapixel camera on it. That is pretty damn good, with a 5,000 milliamp hour, whatever battery. So it is running Android. When I looked this up, as far as I can tell, this is a Chinese manufactured OEM or gray labeled, white box, however you want to call it, okay, no named Android 15. It's similar to what I understand here is this WingTech or a TCL, the Revel 7 or something. Revel 7 or whatever. Anyways, that is the phone that they're using. So it is not a US made phone. Now, how does this play into this whole thing? The whole idea behind this Trump Mobile is it's supposed to be made in the USA, service in the USA, all support is in the USA, everything is USA, USA, USA. And I think that's great. My question is, are they going to eventually make it in the USA? Because as of right now, by the looks of this phone, it is not. Okay, there's quirks to it that really show that it is a Chinese phone that they're using. And then they're just kind of, let's say, gold plating it, quote unquote, making some changes, modifications to it. And that's basically it. But I have a funny feeling though, if they want to keep cred, right, keep the credibility, they're going to end up having to eventually make this phone here in the US. The service is not a problem. They can get a call center here in the US. What I'm seeing is Florida, Texas, and somewhere else is where this phone is going to be made. This is not a phone currently out there. So maybe they're prototyping something against that WingTech. That's possible. And now they're going to make their own. I just don't know. I don't get it. It just doesn't feel right to me. I just can't see how the Trump kids are going to want to get into the phone business, like the manufacturing of the phone. It doesn't make sense to me. So I would guess, now I could be wrong here, they would either buy a company, a small company, to go and make the product here in the US, or they're going to have to somehow bring in people to now make something from scratch here and not actually buy a company. That just seems like a lot of work for a lot of nothing. My personal opinion. So how do they get around this whole thing, made in America type of thing? I don't know. I really don't know. So that's one of the questions that I have. The phone is going to be called a T1. So it's a T1 by Trump, let's say with Trump logo all over it, by the Trump kids, by Donald Trump Jr. as well as Eric, that is putting this thing together, which is really kind of interesting. I think that it's fascinating that Trump would end up doing something like this, and once again, trumping Elon Musk and his X phone, Pi phone, Tesla phone, or whatever, and actually coming up with a T1 or a Trump phone, as well as the Trump Mobile, the Trump service. There's a lot of possibilities here. So the negative side to it, like I've said before, is that they're really going to have to figure out the whole made in America type of thing. Because if you don't do that, you're just going to lose credibility. Okay, it's going to look really, really, really bad. But the other thing that is a negative, in my personal opinion, is when I researched this whole MVNO deal, right? Where you have that mobile virtual network operator, those people like the Mints and all the rest of them, like Boost and Visible, all those people. Well, when I researched them, the numbers don't mesh here. They don't work out. Like Visible, for example, it's $35 a month and you get 50 gigs of high-speed data, 50 gig. Well, with the Trump thing, you're going to get 20 gig and then it's going to slow you down. With Boost Mobile or Boost Infinity, it's called now, it's $25 a month, unlimited. There is still a limit there, but they just call it unlimited. And also was Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile is like 15 to 30 bucks per month. And just like the other one, there's going to be a data cap. There's going to be a certain amount. Once you get to that data, it's going to slow you down. So I just don't get it. My understanding too is Mint is going to be better internationally than the Trump thing. And if those numbers I quoted you before, like with T-Mobile, there's 210 locations or countries that take or use T-Mobile, where they're saying 100 plus on the Trump thing. Well, what is going on there? The only thing I can think of is they're buying really, really cheap extra data in the US. And then in the other 100 countries, they're trying to get the cheap stuff also, but they're losing out on 110 extra countries that, for example, T-Mobile is picking up, right? So there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot. And as I get more information, I'm going to share it with you. And maybe you could decide if this is something that you want to get into. I've always said that if Elon Musk came out with an X phone, a Pi phone, a Tesla phone, or whatever, I would go with it because I'm kind of done with Apple, right? It's just annoying having to be, just stuck with $1,300 for a phone all the time. I just got a new one just recently. So, I'm crying here, but I just paid the money once again. But it's something that I just really don't like to do. I think it's a lot of money for a lot of nothing. When you pay $1,300 for an Apple phone, for an iPhone, and the damn thing is only worth $75 to $150, that just hurts, okay? That just hurts. But like I've always said, any product or any service is only worth the maximum amount that anyone is willing to pay. So people are willing to pay $1,300 for an iPhone. It's going to be $1,300. That's just it. The maximum amount that anyone is willing to pay. That is it. Nothing more than that. So anyways, guys, is this going to get into the whole patriotic or the patriot economy type of thing where people are really into the MAGA movement and they just go down this road to support the MAGA movement? Or is this something that could actually get to be better than a Boost, than a Mint, and all the rest of them as an MVNO? Once again, a mobile virtual network operator. Is it possible? It would be nice if it was. The only thing that I see here that really kind of kicks it up that notch, and that goes back to what I was telling you before. Prescription drugs. What's going to happen with that? If it is a major savings, okay, they're going to get it. Okay, that's just it. Also, roadside assistance. You can buy that yourself if you want, but it just comes with it for free, which is kind of cool. And also the idea of having telemedicine and have a consultation for free, that is a big thing also. There's a lot of people today that need telemedicine that cannot get out there. Maybe they're in a rural area somewhere, or maybe they just don't feel confident enough to go and see a doctor and explain to them maybe some psychological issues that are happening. So having telemedicine is a big, big, big win. So what say you? What do you think about this? What do you think about the whole Trump mobile? What do you think about that T1 phone? You think about it made in gold, right? Gold color. Is this something for you or is it not? What would, let's say, push you towards a Trump mobile? That's what I would like to know. I know there's a lot of negatives here, but what are the things that really would kind of set you off and say, you know what? I want to go down that road. Let me know down below. Anyways, guys, once again, I am in Rome and I'm enjoying myself. It's a workcation, let's call it, right? There's work going on here. So I will show you during these videos a lot of B-roll and things going on and some pictures and whatnot of Rome as we experience it while we're here. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, throw the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. If you are, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Click the notification button over here so when I go live when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately, if not sooner. Also, if you want more SpaceX Starlink content, I've put together over 500 videos just for you. Check them out. I put together this playlist. The playlist has helpful how-tos, tips, tricks, what to do, what not to do, what to buy, what not to buy, the why behind all of it. So check that stuff out. And if you haven't went over to my website lately, check it out. Go to JCristina.com/shop. Once again, JCristina.com/shop and look at my merch. I got like sweats and hats and tees and all kinds of stuff. If there's something there you like, pick it up. Help support me and my family. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one. Maybe with a Trump phone. Maybe not. Take care, guys.